A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Shatarupa Goswami, on behalf of the entire School of Law, Christ University Lavasa, welcome all of you to the inaugural lecture of the Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara lecture series. I extend my heartiest welcome to our chief guest for today, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Christ deemed to be University, Reverend Father Dr. Joseph C.C., our respected Director, Reverend Father Dr. Josie P. George, our Honorable Head of the Department, Professor Dr. Daisy Alexander, our esteemed faculty members, and my dear friends and colleagues. January 3rd is celebrated as the Founders' Day in reverence to our founder, Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara. Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara was a devout Christian clergy who led an extraordinary life of piety and committed action for the transformation of the society. He was a visionary who envisioned a just society where all humans would be worthy of dignity, education, justice, and respect. To accomplish his vision, he founded the Congregation of Carmelites of Mary Immaculate (CMI) in 1831, with a vision to serve the marginalized and underprivileged. The CMI congregation, inspired by life and teachings of Saint Chavara, renders its service in educational, social, healthcare, and other sectors with the aim of uplifting the marginalized and integrating them with the present-day society. As a gesture of reverence and to inspire the present generation of young adults to discover the greatness of Saint Chavara, the School of Law, Christ University Lavasa, is introducing the Law Lecture Series. The objective of the Law Lecture Series is to invite leaders from different walks of life who have contributed to the transformation of the society around us. It would enable the present generation of students to understand the mission of the founder of the society that founded the Christ deemed to be university and deliberate on the social issues by becoming part of the transformative action. Now, without further ado, I would like to request our Honorable Head of the Department, Professor Dr. Daisy Alexander, to kindly give us the opening address.
Good afternoon. We welcome our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Reverend Father Dr. Joseph C.C. It's an honor, a privilege, and I would say it's a grace of God and the opportunity to have our very own Pro Vice Chancellor, who is very learned, and to have his reverence as the guest of the day today. So let's welcome our Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, our very own Pro Vice Chancellor. And I will not take much of your time because you've already explained a lot, Shatrupa. Thank you very much. And I would request Shatrupa to go ahead. And welcoming our director, Father Josie, who's always with us to help us. And without Father Josie, this lecture series wouldn't have had happened, because Father Josie was here to guide us and let us know, and to take this university in a year's time to the vision of our founder itself is a great thing, because here we know in Lavasa we have a lot of shortcomings, but all the shortcomings are taken care of, and it's made as a absolute opportunity. And Christ University actually takes care of the 4% of the economy, and today the economy is running because of Christ University, and this is all because of our founder. And in reverence to our founder, and we would want all our young students to follow our founder's path, and that would really bring in glory to all of you and all of us. So that is why we thought we would start this lecture series, and we would understand the foundations, the vision, and the mission in a better manner. So thank you very much. And further over to Shatrupa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I now request our Honorable Director, Reverend Father Dr. Josie P. George, to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all are gathered here today to celebrate a great man, Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara. And he was an educationalist and a social reformer. His teachings, vision, and the way of life itself is a source of inspiration that has the power to influence many people. We honor this great man, the exemplary human that he was with our Founders Day celebrations, the man from whose vision the Christ University was born. And this occasion of Founders Day celebrations, it gives me immense pride that our Pro Vice Chancellor, Father Joseph C.C., is the founding director of our Lavasa campus. Before me, he was here and he spent a lot of time here. He is the one who started this campus. And in his efforts of guidance and encouragement, and he has been a source of constant support to all of us from the very beginning. Thank you, Father, for joining us today to grace us with your insight for this event. Your presence is indeed the most befitting for the inaugural session of this lecture series. I also appreciate the School of Law, Christ University Lavasa campus, for taking up this initiative to organize a lecture series such this manner. Participation will be highly beneficial to you as the students and all the people from outside the Christ Lavasa campus, as we have the industry experts and inspiring individuals to address you during this program. So make sure you utilize this opportunity at the fullest. Wish you all the best, and thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Father, for your inspiring words. I now request our Student Bar Association member, Ms. Theresa Ann Joseph, to kindly introduce our chief guest for today, our Pro Vice Chancellor, Christ University, Father Dr. Joseph C.C.
Thank you, Shatrupa. Reverend Father Dr. Joseph C.C. is an adept academician and avid writer. He holds PhD from Pondicherry University He did his undergraduate studies from Bangalore University and further pursued his Master of Arts from Maharaja Sayuji Rao University of Baroda. He completed his B.Ed from Bangalore University and M.Ed from Karnataka State Open University. He has written and published numerous articles and journals. He has also written 12 books, which includes Revisiting a Treasure Trove, Perspectives on the Collection at St. Kuriakose Elias Chavara Archives, and A Glance through the History of the Archives Research Center. Another notable work of his is the book on fostering higher education. He has also been a part of various seminars, conferences, and symposiums. Currently, he is our Pro Vice Chancellor as well as faculty at Central Campus, International Studies, Political Science and History School of Social Sciences. It is our privilege to have you today, Father, and I welcome you to speak on this lecture session. Over to you, Father.
Reverend Father Josie, Reverend Father Arun, Dr. Daisy Alexander, respected faculty members and students, a very blessed new year to all of you. I think we are meeting first time in new year, so the wishes of new year is very important. Today, as I speak little bit on our founder, I'm very proud to be with you because it is his inspiration that is guiding us. It is his, let us say, intercession that is giving us more blessings from God. And it is his inspiration to give education, that too, quality education that is inspiring us every day. So if we find anything good in Christ University, all go back to the life and message of our founder, Saint Chavara. Basically, I'll be making a short presentation for about 30 to 40 minutes. Since this is the first of the lecture series, I'll be focusing more on the basic aspects of his life and his contributions. I'm not going into anything deep on any particular aspect, but we need to understand his life and witness as a whole. That's what I am trying to do. To start with, we'll watch a short video which was circulated yesterday as Founders Day. So watching this video will give us a little bit about his life. Maybe on some of those points I'll dwell on in detail a little more. Okay, let's watch.
I request a system admin to play the video.
Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara, the first Indian male to be canonized as a saint, was born on the 10th of February 1805. He believed that a person without education is equally blind as the visually impaired. Saint Chavara tried to make a society which was built on the strong values of equality to all men devoid of caste, creed, class and religion. It takes immense strength and determination to bring about a transformation to a society with backward beliefs. During the 19th century, Saint Chavara was a courageous leader who believed in his values and tread on the path of Christ, to preach the importance of education and equality to all. He was chosen by God to take his vows in the Carmelite tradition and co-founded the Congregation of Carmelites of Mary Immaculate for Men in 1831. During the ages where women were merely treated as objects of reproduction and performed domestic chores, it was Saint Chavara who broke the shackles of hundreds of such women. He educated them, equipped them with knowledge and uplifted the oppressed class of women. He founded the Congregation for Mother of Carmel, CMC for Women, which organized upliftment programs for women empowerment. His first initiative was to start an institution for Sanskrit studies at Mananam in 1846 where people from all castes and religion can learn. He went on to open a school in a place called Apukara and inspired others to open schools in various other places. He was a pioneer reformer to provide midday meals in schools. the visionary to uplift women of the society and the first reformer to strengthen religious beliefs in Kerala. His spiritual strength and thoughts for a reformed society made him an excellent communicator of the masses. People believed in his vision and trusted his insights. Saint Chavara experienced immense spiritual intervention to realize the mission of Christ. He brought in the retreat preaching where people can spend time to connect with God. Saint Chavara was the person to initiate the first printing press of Catholics in Kerala by starting the St. Joseph's Press in 1846. His writings were based on religious and historical aspects. It also included letters, prayer texts, literary works and chronicles. Saint Chavara was a reformer who took leadership to educate the so-called untouchables. He was one of the main reasons to bring about 100% literacy rate in Kerala. He set an example to several other leaders in the world that a society can be transformed only through education. Christ, deemed to be university, pays homage to the founder. Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara, pray for us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that very inspiring plus very informative video. Based on that video, I hope I'll be able to present to you something from the life and witness of Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara. Can any of the students tell me which of the information that you noticed from the video? Anybody can say. What is that you have got interested in? Anybody from the audience? Those who watched it, maybe it was fast also, but anyone can recollect? Anybody wants to say? What do you remember? Anything from the video? Anybody want to recollect? None of you remember? That's okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I will take you through for at least for half an hour to recollect about the life and the witness. Well, I would like to start with two quotes about Saint Chavara. Two of them are famous literary figures. One is a real literary figure, Dr. Sukumar Azhikode, and next is Professor Sitaram Menon, a historian, in fact, who wrote many books. According to Dr. Sukumar, he spoke about Saint Chavara as if a person of 19th century is gratefully remembered in the 20th century. He has created the 20th century and 21st centuries in the 19th century itself. Such people are called creators of ages. And when we analyze the contributions and life of Saint Chavara, we find he is a creator of ages. Although he lived in 19th century, he had a vision to look ahead and what is required for a generation. And accordingly, he planned things and worked out with the consultation from other people. According to Professor Sitaram Menon, Father Chavara's service and activities were never limited to Catholic community. That is relevant for all communities, for all ages. It's not a limited audience that he looked at. He looked at people who are all there. People who want service. To all of them, he gave service. That's very interesting to note. To all of them, he gave service in such a way that each of them will come up in life. So these two quotes summarize the effect or the impact of the contributions of Saint Chavara. A little bit about his life. Some of you in the video might have noticed about his birth and all. He was born in the beginning of 19th century. You know that 19th century had its own specifications. It was the time when the British were active in many parts of India. Also the French and the Portuguese to a little bit. Many of the princely states were getting, let us say, controlled by the British. Many states were getting inspired by the British. So he was born at a time when colonialism was also spreading around India or different parts of India. He joined the seminary to become a priest in 1818. And after training for many years, he became a priest in 1829. When you say he became a priest, the formal function is known as ordination. And he got ordained as a priest in 1829. And in 1831, he started, along with the two other fathers, our CMI congregation. You know, Christ University is run by CMI congregation. I will explain what is this congregation and all. After that, they waited for almost 33 years. And it is in 1855 that they professed. Professed means, you know, that in the Catholic Church, to be a sannyasi means you have to profess the vows of chastity, obedience, and poverty. And he became the first Indian to do that. Earlier to that, it was all foreign congregations, Europeans who were working here. So first Indian to be professed. In 2014, he was declared as a saint by Pope Francis. That's what is given here, canonization of Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara. Canonization is the process or the formal function by which anyone is declared a saint. And then his death was on 1871. So which we remembered with graceful thoughts yesterday, 3rd January, we call it Chavara Jayanti, or death anniversary of Saint Chavara. So this is a little bit, born in 1805, died in 1871, Saint Chavara. Almost 3 quarters of a century that he lived, which was very particular because of its backwardness and also because of the possibilities for development. As a saint, so we address him as a saint. What is this saint? So a person who is living a saintly life, if he is to be declared after his death as a saint, for example, Mother Teresa. Some of you know Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She is declared a saint of a process in the Catholic Church where they will analyze based on a criteria. The criteria for declaring anybody as a saint in our church is that they need to practice the theological virtues of hope, faith, and charity. Hope, faith, and charity. So these 3 virtues, whether they practiced or not, and also they will look into whether they practiced cardinal virtues like prudence, temperance, fortitude, and justice. throughout their life. If they practiced it, we have to show the proof in written form and through activities. Then the church go through the process, all these documents, and find out whether they practice these virtues: faith, hope, and charity, prudence, temperance, fortitude, and justice. So it is after that, let us say, process of going through everything all in detail that somebody is declared a saint. And Saint Chavara had his sanctity of life because he practiced faith, hope, and charity in his life. He practiced cardinal virtues also in his life. This was analyzed and accepted by the Catholic Church in a formal way, and then he is declared a saint. So it's a saintly life of Saint Chavara that I am more interested to speak about. So he is known today as a saintly person. Then actually he was a saint. So it is this situation of his life that made the difference. So thank you for understanding from that concept. And then Saint Chavara declared that he took this, let us say, baptism, you know, that the formal process by which somebody is declared a member of the church, baptism, by which somebody is declared formally into sorry. And then you see, this is 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So he took baptism, so becoming a formal member. And we believe that one who is taking baptism or becoming a formal member through the prayers, he gets a grace, blessing of the Lord. And remaining in this grace, you need to be living a life without sin. So he claimed by his own, on his deathbed, that he kept his baptismal grace all throughout his life without going for sin. So that is what made him to be declared as a saint. So that's a process I am just telling you. The sanctity of life, which I was explaining, the sanctity of life, that's the most important thing that we are able to notice in his life, or we are able to understand in his life. Okay. Then connected with that, I would like to say that he was a man of God and a mystic. He is a mystic who imparts God experience throughout his life. There is an author named Perim Padavan who said that Saint Chavara not only was a saint in himself, but in his writings, even through his writings also, he got God experience shared. So when you say he was a man of God and a mystic, what does it mean? I try to understand this from the aspect, three different words. He had the vision to integrate jnana, the wisdom, karma, the activities, and devotion in his life. So wisdom, activities, and devotion, all three combined. So integration of jnana, karma, and bhakti made him a man of God and a mystic. And he claimed that he was very much inspired by his own mother. And that made him very strong in his relation to God. And in his becoming a man of God and a mystic, he was very much taken up by the spiritual inspiration from his guru, Father Thomas Palakan. And he was also very much inspired by the Carmelite spirituality, which is of East European origin, but which was very deep in its God experience. He also had Indian spiritual vision. For example, the first monastery that he started, we are coming to that. He named it as a house of darshan. A darshan, a place where people are craving for intense spiritual exercise. So, house of darshan, the first monastery was named like house of darshan. And then he also named it as tapas bhavan, where people come and pray, spend time in prayer, integrated with penance. So that is very interesting to note that he was able to select maximum of Indian approaches of jnana, karma, and also bhakti. Moving to our understanding of him from man of God, I would like to speak another aspect that is about the contributions. If you are able to ask me some questions, I'll be very happy, because I will try to understand whether you are able to understand or not. Please try to ask questions if at all you have any question at all. Okay. In between also, you are most welcome to ask me questions. Yeah. So now we will just touch upon a few of his contributions. I will give you the basic information, as I told you in the beginning, that Saint Chavara found his life and contributions. We touch upon all aspects, but not going into details. The first of his contributions, I would like to say, as a founder of religious congregations. Some of you may wonder, what is this religious congregation? You have heard of the sannyasis in India. So the same concept is there in Western or in Christianity also, where people live together as sannyasis. So that arrangement of living together as sannyasis is known as religious congregation. Living as sannyasis together is known as religious congregation, that setup, that arrangement. So there are many religious congregations or sannyasi groups in the Catholic Church. In India, there was no Indian religious congregation or sannyasi group in Catholic Church. It was more of foreigners, Europeans from Portugal, from Spain, from France and Italy who were coming here. But in India, it was lacking. So in 1831, May 11, Saint Chavara started our congregation, which is running Christ University, Carmelites of Mary Immaculate. A great step, a great movement. We call it a spiritual movement. A spiritual movement was started on 11th of May, 1831. And at that time, there were only 11 members to join. And later the number went on increasing. And today, we are around 2,000 members in the religious congregation of CMI. It is known as Carmelites of Mary Immaculate. We work all over India in education, hospital, in social work, pastoral work, all over India and even other parts of the world also. Okay. Now, so this is for men that he started this religious congregation, sannyasi group. For sannyasins, for women, he started another religious congregation along with Father Leopold in 1866, known as Congregation of Mother Carmel, CMC. They are also very active all throughout the world. And even in other different parts of India, there are around 5,000 members, a very large group of dedicated nuns. So it is that name of the group of nuns is known as Congregation of Mother Carmel. And very interesting to note that these monasteries and convents which Saint Chavara started, which grew into centers of learning and spirituality. When you learn about Buddhism and Jainism, this is very true. For example, Ajanta and Ellora, some of you might have gone to the campus for visit. Ajanta and Ellora. It's not far away from Lavasa or Pune. Those of you who did not get a chance, try to visit that. Okay, it's around 6 hours from Pune. So Ajanta and Ellora. You find many monasteries of Buddhists were there, and they were also centers of learning. You know about the University of Nalanda. It was basically a Buddhist monastery, which got developed into a big university. Nalanda was a monastery. Like that, the monasteries and convents founded by Saint Chavara also became centers of learning and spirituality. The revolution in education. I told you at the beginning that the most important inspiration for all of us today in Christ University to spread to Lavasa or Pune or to Delhi NCR or different parts of India is the first school which Saint Chavara started in 1846. Two aspects are very important. Who were admitted in the school? What is the language of instruction? He admitted to the school students of all castes and religions. There is no distinction. Anybody, caste and creed, anybody can join. So that was a revolution because there was no formal education in many of the places where he was living. Only few government institutions were formal education. Otherwise, it was under a guru. You go to guru's house and learn. But now he has formal education. But from the beginning, he admitted students of all castes and religions. Second is the language of instruction. Very interesting. The language of instruction was Sanskrit. You know, Sanskrit at those times was only people who are of high caste could learn Sanskrit. That was their medium of instruction also. Now he took that Sanskrit language and made use to teach or to learn in Sanskrit or as the instruction, medium of instruction to all the students. So Sanskrit, the high caste language, was brought down to all the groups of the society. So after starting this, after a few years, he understood that there is very limited number of schools. Go for more number of schools. So he came with a concept that a school for every church. Yeah, if you have got church, you should have a school. If you have no school, you cannot close the church. That was his dictum. He said, if you are having devotion to God, you should also learn wisdom. You should get wisdom. There's a school for every church. And this is very important revolution. The CMI congregation took it up, and our priests, they went around, fathers went around and started. And there it was inspired by other people also. So you find that within 40 years, 100 schools were started in the state. The schools attached to churches became the live wire and symbols of education act. Very interesting thing that all of you need to notice here also is the free noon meals which he gave. That was an inspiration for them to come to the school. And he bought paddy fields where rice is cultivated. From there, they can you take the rice and make use of it for providing free noon schools. And then he also started seminary for formation of learned and spiritually inclined priests. To train the priests, he took up that step. So that's very interesting. Free noon schools and seminary formation. Okay. Now I was telling you about Sanskrit school he started, admit the students of all castes and religion. That's very interesting. Most important revolutionary step. And it is said that his education to the deprived classes. And it is claimed that he may be the first Indian who dared to admit untouchables, who admitted the untouchables to schools and provided them with Sanskrit education. That is his greatness. And it was his belief that social inclusion will happen through education. Even today we believe that education is the medium through which social inclusion is about to happen and is happening. And as I said earlier, that midday we promoted education. In 1858, today's University of Madras was started as a college after the famous 1857 revolution. He came to know about it, and based on that, he also planned a center college, but he could not stand that during his time. It is said that he was a firm believer in the transformative role of education. And he injected a new thought process in the society that education is crucial for all-round progress and development. Education is crucial for all-round development and progress. So his starting of a school and later one more school for Dalits was very significant from its, let us say, from its point of view, how it was giving the maximum of the results. Yeah. Okay. So that is education. In spiritual realm, some of them you may not understand. The prayer books he codified, he edited it and published. He started new devotions of, let us say, some of the most important devotions which he was inspired from other people. He started in the church. Then next most important contribution I also wanted to tell you that is that of printing press. He started a printing press, which was a third in the state. Government and another private press was there. So he could not get permission, or they didn't help him. So he started a wooden press from which, let us say, many books were printed. It's another revolution. The spread of reading habit and the literacy through the various books were printed in the press. So reading habit and literacy got spread. That was the time, only 3 presses were there in the state. Limited number of books were coming out. And he printed more and more books so that people can read. That led to reading habit. That led to the spread of literacy. If today many places have got a spread of literacy, it's because of his efforts. A school for a church. So it was easily available. Yeah. Availability of schools and education made people to go there. That improved the literacy percentage in the state. So Saint Chavara made a very significant step in this regard. Next is social apostolate. He encouraged children from economically weak background. Come to the school. Don't worry, I will give you lunch. I'll give you food. You're most welcome. One of the most important steps he started was he established a home for the aged, sick, and destitute. One of its first of its kind, a pioneering effort. So this is known as Upavi Shala, a home for the aged, sick, and the destitute in 1869. He also started an association for blessed death, those who are about to die, to support them, to be with them. He started a confraternity of saints for a happy death. And then he also initiated just wages. Today you have got a labor department and all, who ensure that workers are given just wages. That time, in the mid of 19th century, Saint Chavara wrote that you should give just wages to the people who are working with you, and on time. They should not wait at your mercy to receive wages. So on time, you have to give it. And upliftment also of the Dalits also is very important here. He spent the maximum of his time to lift up Dalits, because they were downtrodden, they were not recognized in the society at that time. So it was his initiative to uplift the Dalits. Seminary formation, it is nothing but, seminary is nothing but a place where priests are trained to become priests, or candidates are trained to become priests. And he was instrumental in starting many in different places. It's not about the places I am interested to speak. More than that, as I said, Ajanta and Ellora, the Buddhist monasteries were centers of education, or Nalanda. In the same way, it happened in Europe also. In Europe, there were many monasteries established, and they became leading educational centers. Here in Bangalore, this is very true. We started here as a monastery and seminary, Carmelites College. Today, they started from there, we started Christ University. Today, Christ University is a big space for education. Okay, a monastery or an ashram becoming a center of education. It happened in Europe, it happened in India also. Clear example is that of Christ University. Okay, so moving on to next of his contribution. Anybody wanting to ask questions, you are most welcome. Next is about empowerment of women. I said earlier that the sannyasins group, which he started for women, was known as CMC 1866. Nothing but Congregation of Mother Carmel, the group of nuns. So this congregation, when he started, there were a lot of women who were in underprivileged section, who were very poor, and they were not recognized in the society. So Saint Chavara, by establishing this CMC congregation or sannyasins group, he tried to lift them up. That's why I gave the word empowerment of women. Empowerment of women. There, he did not just start, he was not just starting a convent. Whereas he also took the efforts in training of nuns in art and craft to make them self-reliant. That's in the convent. He started a boarding house for girls known as Edith Kumtat. It was for the spiritual and intellectual development of girls. That was a chance for many girls getting opportunity for learning and practicing virtues and Veda. In this boarding school, they were taught languages, handicraft, cooking, music, mathematics, catechism, etc. But remember, this is in the mid of 19th century. Okay, women were given training to come up in their life, to be self-reliant. You can remember this again, I want to tell you, mid of 19th century. That vision Saint Chavara had. The women have to come up in society. For that, they should be able to work. For that, they should be taught skills, and they will work on their own and make a living out of it. This was the vision of Saint Chavara, which we need to be proud even today, because that was the kind of contribution that he made. Empowerment of women by establishing boarding house and the CMC congregation. Moving on to his writings, I will touch upon, he was a very good writer, and he wrote two sets of works. One is historical writings, and the other is spiritual and literary writings. Among the historic writings, the most important is that of Chronicles. There are 2 volumes of Chronicles which he brought, which are nothing but day-to-day happenings are written, which are historical records with a lot of meaning. Then he wrote many classical works, poetic works. One poetic work is Martyrdom of Anastasia, which present the fight between good and evil. Virtues and faith and fortitude are promoted through this work. Compunction of heart, songs of death, to meditate on the gift of life, are given in this Dirge or songs of death. It also deals with a concept known as virtues and good works accompany eternal glory. Virtues and good works. Then he wrote many other books, even colloquies on meditation, large number of letters he wrote. So this became very important and significant for people to read, and then people also got very much taken up because of his the power of his pen. This is what I am also interested to speak about. Very interesting. He wrote a letter, a long letter to his native people with advices. That is known as Testament of a Loving Father. These are advices for families. And I would like to compare it as like that of Edicts of Ashoka. You know, you have heard of Edicts of Ashoka, the emperor in India, where he wrote messages for people on the rock, pillar rock edict, major rock edict emerged like that, and which are moral codes. Like that, Saint Chavara wrote a long letter, very long letter to his native people. They're known as Manual for Families. There are 40 instructions which are relevant even today. There he speaks about what is meant by an ideal family. And he speaks about love of neighbor, humility, and understanding with others, industriousness, fear of God, days of obligation, and upbringing of children, and children's responsibility to parent. All these things are detailed, dealt with. No? What should happen in a family? How children are to be taken care of by parents, and parents need to take care of their children in which way? It is 2 codes I have given here. One code is when children come of age, give them complete freedom to choose their state of life. Yeah. Can I ask Vinay Matai, who is in the participants, to read these quotations? Just for your, I want somebody to participate. Vinay Matai. Vinay, are you present here?
Vinay Matai, are you there? I saw him, he was here. He's the most...
Nikhil, okay, in that case, Nikhil Bobby.
Nikhil Bobby is there. Nikhil?
Yes, ma'am.
Nikhil, can you read quotes in the last lines of this slide for all people to understand? Can you see the screen? Nikhil?
Nikhil, unmute yourself, yeah.
Yes, sir, I can see the screen, yes.
Can you read the last 2 quotes?
The last two, when children come of age, give them complete freedom to choose their state of life. My dear children, you are obliged to obey your parents and avoid giving them any pain.
Thank you. These are two quotes from the Testament of a Loving Father, the letter of instruction given by Saint Chavara. I just gave it two of the aspects because he's touching upon simple aspects, but very important even today. What he wrote in the mid of 19th century is very relevant. When children are aged, they have to choose their state of life by themselves. That's the idea given by Saint Chavara. The same way, children have the obligation to obey the parents and avoid giving them any pain. That's another aspect which Saint Chavara tried to give us. Yeah. Okay. So this is about another famous work, Testament of a Loving Father. And then I also touch upon his leadership quality, which is of exceptionally unique, because he was the one who brought people together in the establishment of monasteries, seminaries, convents, schools, etc., through collaboration of people and collective. So collective wisdom was given importance. Now, he is also known as an excellent entrepreneur. New monasteries were started and new schools were started. And he was not just starting and going away. He was looking at the efforts to function it. Sustaining of the institution was also very important for him. So he planned it very well. Bold and systematic efforts were taken with the cooperation of the rulers and public. So that shows his leadership quality. That's what I want to touch upon. I'm coming to the conclusion because it is almost, I think, 9 minutes I have passed on. The time given to me was 45, so I'm supposed to close at 3:45. To conclude, I want to say that Saint Chavara, our founder, is a multi-dimensional saint. He was a man for others, which worked with a philosophy in reaching out to the other to be brought up. For that, what I have to do. He can be called a bodhisattva, an ideal of compassion, harmony, and peace. He was the ideal of being a creative presence. He's a pioneer saint who started new things, whether it is Sanskrit school or religious congregations or press or home for the aged and the sick. Creatively, he started. What is the need of the society? Accordingly, he started. Vibrant symbol of religious life and social reformation. The kind of efforts he took for setting up religious life, sannyasi's life, and also reformation. That's very important. So I am concluding with the quote which I said in the beginning. If a person, Saint Chavara of 19th century, is gratefully remembered in 20th century, he has created 20th and 21st centuries in the 19th century itself. Such people, Saint Chavara, are called creators of ages. So Saint Chavara was a creator of age. He was not looking at that time alone, that decade alone, that quarter of the century alone. More, he looked ahead. What is required for the people to survive and what is required in the future. Accordingly, he worked. So let us hope and pray that the values for which Saint Chavara stood for continue to guide us at Christ University. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you very much. Students, if you have any questions, Shatrupa can take up those questions. Even the faculty can ask questions. If there are a lot of people watching on the YouTube, and if you have any questions from that side as well, Shatrupa, you can take up the questions.
Father, I have a small observation.
Yeah.
If I'm audible?
Yes, please. Yeah.
I think Saint Chavara is also known for I think, building up mass movement in the sense that he also involved public, ordinary people. I think I fondly remember the PDRE movement which he started, involving everybody to donate a handful of rice to run his midday meal programs. I think that is very important because among all the people, I think midday meal scheme was the first initiation of Saint Chavara. I think the local administration then requested the king of that time to start a similar program in government schools to bring students, children to school. I think that was a great idea.
In 1881.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. The PDRE system which you are mentioning for the information of students, he popularized it. In fact, he's not the inventor, he popularized. PDRE means, it refers to rice. No? At home, your parents are taking rice or a piece of, let us say, so much of wheat for preparation of chapati or rice. So when you are taking so much of quantity, little bit of that, you save it in another utensil. Okay, little bit. And in a week's time or a month, you will get a large quantity of the rice. So that you donate for something. That's what he promoted. So this is known as the system that Professor Sunil John was trying to. Very simple step, but he contributed. I was telling you about his organizational skill, bringing people cooperation for doing many things. And this is one of the aspects when it practically speak, which he did. Thank you, sir.
I feel blessed because I don't know, I got more close with respect to the Christ University. It's just a year, and I used to go to the church and I used to see the first canonized beatified saint in our country. And the prayers, when you intercede, when you request prayers to Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara, it's a blessing. It does happen. So I've seen, and the empowerment of women, where we all women are here today, irrespective of our caste, creed, religion, our states, and we have students from around the world, around 55 countries. That itself is a blessing, which was initiative. And that is why today we are blessed with the CMI fathers and the CMC sisters. I mean, more of the CMI fathers, wherein education or the scholarly mandate takes the first precedence. So that is very important, and that is what, and this is why I wanted, when you have come to the Christ University, you should know the foundation, who are there. When I asked you, like, okay, go and write about the vice chancellor or pro vice chancellor, you were just looking. So you should know, you should understand who is the founder, what is the vision, what is the mission, and these are the basic foundations on which your path will be guided, where you will be making your life, where your life will be glorified. So that is why we initiated this particular mission of starting this lecture series. And this way, at least you'll know the authorities, and you'll know the writings. I mean, I would want some of the books to be in our library. There are times when we will be down, when you're depressed. Not that every day is a great day. There are times when you feel, so this is a time when you could meditate upon those readings, which gives you strength, which gives you courage, which takes away your sorrow, and which builds your goal, the life's goals. When you come aimless, and then you focus, you really want to be. See, everybody cannot be everybody, or anybody cannot be everybody, but we have a special place, what we are supposed to do, what God has bestowed upon us. And that is why this particular lecture series is, which was I initiated and I took it up. So if you have any questions, please put in your chat box. Shatrupa can take it up. If you're really scared to even, don't feel scared. I've always told you, be polite, be firm. Whatever question, if your question is silly also, we will not say that your question is silly. You may ask your question, please.
First time they are coming across Saint Chavara.
Faculty, yeah. Yes, yes, Father, they are a little scared. Vinay is a very close. You called up Vinay, he ran away, I think. He basically doesn't even speak in the class. Faculty, do you have any questions? Anybody, please. Shrey, Shriji, Teresa, Mona Lisa. Manish. Nobody wants to. Nina. Counselor ma'am, Namita. Amrita ma'am. Or Mehak ma'am, Christine. Nobody wants to ask any question?
Yeah. First time they are coming across Saint Chavara.
Yes.
Slowly and
Yeah, we can. Is that all? I think Shadrupa, you take. Go ahead, Shadrupa.
Thank you so much, Father, for the wonderful words and sharing with us such valuable information about our very own founder, which we were unaware of. I'm pretty sure the words of wisdom and his teachings will surely be helpful for us, and we hope we could carry on and carry forward his vision, his mission, and his thoughts. I would now like to request our professor, Dr. Sunil John Sir, to kindly come up and propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shatrupa. It's my honor to propose the vote of thanks to the series of lectures which is named after Saint Kuriakose Chavara. And we just had a small initiation for you to know about Saint Chavara, but I'm sure over the few years you will definitely know more about him. So on behalf of the School of Law, Christ University, deemed to be University, Pune-Lavasa, I am honored to thank our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Father Dr. Thomas C.C. for this absolutely wonderful presentation. I will not call it a lecture, it was a wonderful presentation. In fact, with both the video as well as the presentation. I'm also obliged to thank our director, Dr. Joshi, and our academic coordinator, Father Arun. I'm also obliged to thank Dr. Daisy Alexander, our HOD, all the staff members and the students who are here. We have been working for some time to make this program positively possible, and we hope that we will have all the speakers coming and speak to us, and we will also know about not only the actions and work done by Saint Chavara, but also the reformation that is happening in the country at the moment. And just like Saint Chavara was an inspiration to many social reformers in Kerala, including Sri Narayana Guru, Chattambi Swami, and many others, we hope that he would also guide us and bless us this new year. I'm also obliged to thank the IT department for making possible the Zoom and the YouTube broadcast. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much, Father Dr. Thomas C.C.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Father. Give us your blessings. Bless us for the new year, all the students, the faculty, and the Christ University. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Yeah, in this new year, you will be able to go to the campus. I am hoping and praying for that.
Thank you.
Have a good time in Lavasa as you go back to the classes. Yeah?
Thank you, Father.
Class.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Father.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.